Welcome to the GRG podcast, the place for all your gaming news, plus hot topics of the week. Also remember to follow us on Twitter at KMega4.
Baseline back around again. Baseline back around again. What's happening, everybody? The GRG podcast is live finally. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because as many times as I try, right? And I try to be on time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to hear no gimmicks. I don't want to hear, black folk time. I don't want to hear none of that. Because we was here, I was ready, I prepped, I checked for updates, I do it all the time. I did it like 3 times. And you know what Microsoft said to me? Nah, sucker. You should have checked about 5-10 minutes before you started the show, because we about to hit you across the head. Thank you for signing for that Microsoft Insiders program for Windows 11, because we're gonna hit you up right fast with a couple of sprinkles or something. We ain't gonna give you the whole update. We're just gonna give you a couple of sprinkles. Thank you, Microsoft. I really do appreciate it. I mean, I you would think, because I got the chance to talk to Phil Spencer, that maybe they would say, look, the GRG podcast starts at 8 p.m. Central Time. But it's a different department. So you know what? I got to step up. I got to step my game up. I got to go talk to somebody out there at Windows. Like, look, bruh, come on, man. Can we do that? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's GRG gang. Let's go. Anyways, what's happening, everybody? Doing it live. We are doing it live. We doing it live. And listen, this is going to be a wild show, because I can tell you right here, one of the most stable of the show is now cutting up. I don't know what we're going to get from him tonight, but Still Rain, we're going straight to him right now. Still Rain.
Oh, man.
Man, bringing the pain.
And I am him, the one and only Still Rain. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's been one of them weeks, right? But we right back with it, where game is recognized game in the GRG kingdom. And look, man, there's a little bit of smoke, a little bit of fire. We can throw it around tonight, and overall just have some classic conversations. I've been knee deep in the Scarlet Nexus, one of the excellent combat system games that are out right now. If you haven't tried it, the demo does not do it justice. I'm glad I held off on it. And other than that, I've just been trying to catch some bodies in the Halo MCC, getting ready for that Halo Infinite Life because look, man, I'm a vet that I gotta get warmed up on my skills, baby. But other than that, let's get to this smoke, let's get to this fire, let's get to these topics.
Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, cool. Let's keep it moving. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Since she's been on here, man, she has been killing it. She is a monster. When she gets into her mode, for sure. You know, she don't like my little picture of the chick that wants to say she's gonna cut somebody. But that's what kind of mode she does. But she likes to preach too. She likes to pass the offering. So what's happening with you, D? How you doing? I hope I gave you enough time to go ahead and scarf what you was eating, what you was cooking, because it sounded good when she was over there preparing over there. Did you get it all ate up and done since we was?
That's
good.
That's gone.
Okay. All right.
I'm good. I'm chilling. It's been a long week, but a good week, so I can't complain. And yes, my breakfast for dinner was delicious. I put a French toast up. Yes, sir.
Breakfast for dinner is always great.
Yes, sir.
Nice. All right, cool. And Six Slayer, what's happening with you, brother? What's going on?
Another week is done. Friday.
Thank God.
GRG. We here.
Oh
man, it's been a week. It's been a week,
you
man.
You didn't get paid? You didn't get paid? I can't throw the paid man
out there? That's next week.
Oh, okay. I got the paid man right there. Oh, okay.
No, this week is different.
All right.
Not payday. No, that's false advertising right there.
Okay.
But yo, man, it's been hot out here on the East Coast.
Let me know. I know y'all kind of soft skinned out there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got skin like fish. But what's the what was the temperature out there? I want to know what
like
hot
100
is.
plus.
Like okay,
100 plus.
Yeah, 100 plus.
Okay. Humidity. What was the humidity? What was that?
Listen, I don't know, but it was sweaty and balls.
I don't know.
It was sweaty as these nuts. Let me tell you, boy. It was sweltering out there.
I mean, it was
disgusting. It was disgusting. It really, really was. But yeah, we've had some rain recently. It cooled down a little bit, but yeah, it's still gonna be hot. I mean, summer is here, so hey, summer games best. Hopefully, will be something. But we're not talking about that tonight. But we got lots of other stuff to talk about, so I think we can get to it.
All right, no doubt. And so, for Lemon, he said that his bunion was hurting, his left corn. He had corn and bunions, and so he had to get that thing cut out. If you seen Lemon's feet, then you would definitely understand. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think he met MC Hammer, and then he gave MC Hammer the thought of making that song Hammer Time. So with them feet. So all right, and then Bloody Knuckles, Bloody Knuckles, you know what I'm saying? Remember, he was having a bad situation going, and so he had to do all praises to the Satan ring. So we will. Yeah. So that's okay. But other than that, let's go. PK, he said he was going to be coming in here a little bit because I think he was boycotting because we didn't talk about Windows 11 last week, and he wants to make sure that we talk about something Nintendo related. So I told him that it was up to the crew. I thought the crew was going to be slanderous and give him some delicious slander, but they was like, no, because people are nice around here. So that is what it is. But so we'll see if we can. Anyway, let's get to it, man. Without further ado, let's get straight to that first. Oh man, the first topic, and the first topic is Konami. Oh man, right here, Konami.
They're trying to do.
Look like Konami's over here outsourcing their games, and there was that rumor that came about that saying that they were that there was going to be other studios that were going to be working on Konami IPs. We haven't heard anything, and then all of a sudden, there was this whole connection between Kojima, Silent Hill, that was in the PlayStation space for a while. All of a sudden, we got news yesterday that Bloober Team, the people who's made Medium and Layers of Fear, they will be the ones that will get the game Silent Hill. And hey, shout out to my boy Cali Rex. He is not very happy about it. I've seen quite a few PlayStation guys aren't very happy about the pick. But again, I think personally, Bloober Team deserves it. They've made some. I think I don't know how many people have played or beat the medium. I haven't beat the medium because I really don't do spooky, but I have played about 4 hours into the game, and I thought the game had a good creep factor. I thought the game, for what they're doing with the budget that they had, it wasn't bad at all, and especially that the creativity that they were doing with the split worlds and all of that, I thought it was pretty good. The story seemed pretty decent, but it's not about what I think, it's about what the panel thinks. So let's go straight to it. All right, so let's go to my boy Still Rain right off the bat. What do you think, man? Do you think that this is a good move from Konami to let Bloober Team get this? Do you think that somebody else should have had the opportunity, or you think it's time for Bloober Team to get a big budget title and let people see what they could do with it?
And to be completely honest, man, it's one of those things where you go back and you look at the Silent Hill series, right? The Silent Hill games, as much as the Silent Hill 2 might be a renowned game for it being how scary it was or whatever the case might be, and me not being a very scary game kind of guy, but if you just look at the numbers or whatever the case might be, or just look at the, I should say, the scope of them, the only one that really mattered was Silent Hill 2, and even that one didn't do as well as it could have. So it's one of those things to where Silent Hill, what is it, 89%? It's an 89 Metacritic. So Silent Hill 2 is 89 Metacritic. So you have one game out of your series so far that has done really well, and that game came out in 2001 and is way overdue. So it's one of those things to where Bloober Team did something amazing. I know people like to downplay it or whatever, say the game's not great. Look, the game's personally not for me neither, but that does not mean that you cannot look at that game and say they tried to do something different. Now, imagine what they could have done if they would have took both those game worlds and made them one. Now, what people tend to forget, we always seek creativity in video games, right? We want that next dev to take it to the next step further and see how they can iterate on what we have currently going on. That's what Bloober Team was able to do. I'm confident with them getting a Silent Hill title. Maybe it'll be a game that I play. Like UK Mega, I'm not a scary game kind of guy. Resident Evil 2 back in the day kind of set it in stone for me, and then Fear after that kind of really put me in a place with those scary type games, and I'm not with it. I might mess around and accidentally punch my TV from jumping or something. So it's one of them things where there's a lot of people are clamoring for it. A lot of people love Silent Hill, and the potential that it has, right? With everything that's going on between Kojima and Xbox right now, it potentially being an official thing. Where Jeff Grubb, if you want to take that man serious, I feel like he's all right, people. But I feel like with him being part of the Action 2 and Bloober already kind of having their hands in the Xbox pot already, you have a lot of potential there. At least somebody that you can go to that may be a weird dude or however you might feel about him, but at least he has like creative ideas, and he's been a kind of an icon for as far as how to put a horror series together, right? So at least you have somebody to go to, refer to get some extra knowledge from, per se. But Bloober themselves, I feel like they have an opportunity to really take the Silent Hill series in a different direction. And if we get two of them, one is exclusive to PlayStation and one that's exclusive to Microsoft, we'll definitely be able to see, studio for studio, who can put out the better product, right? So it's another opportunity for great competition. I think Konami should keep doing something similar. Again, Konami has so many games that they can go back to. Again, how can you reinvigorate Contra? How can you reinvigorate Metal Gear? Again, you have these game series that have so much more life within them. They just need more people. I know people, for those who are into Yu-Gi-Oh, you might be into Castlevania, which is something that I'm personally interested in. I want to see Konami do something with that, but that's neither here nor there. But I have faith that Bloober could put something out that's pretty spectacular. Again, they're seemingly trying to consistently push forward the status in gaming. Again, dual rendering a game isn't easy. As many people try to say, oh, the game doesn't look as great or whatever, you have to look at what they were doing. So that only gives me like a credence for what they could potentially do working on a single on a singular game and having a singular focus or whatever the case. So I think Konami needs to still keep handing them out because they're not doing nothing else with them, and their stock prices keep dropping. So they need to do something to keep that money flowing in. So.
No doubt. And thank you, Paula Baba. Thank you so much, man, on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Really do appreciate it. Polly Baba. That's one hell of a name right there.
Shout out to Polly Baba.
Shout out to Polly Baba. And yeah, I mean, so. And shout out to the people out here that corrects me when I say Ghost of Tsushima. They say I have to say Tsushima. And listen, let me be country. I think so. Shishima. I think that. Let me be country.
Hey, whatever.
I said I thought it was Toshima too, or
Toshima.
Toshima or Tsushima.
There's no
but they said Tsushima.
Toshima, I thought it was
There's no O.
Yeah. There's no O. Yeah.
There's no O there.
Toshima.
Oh, don't worry.
Anyway, all right, Six Layer. What about you, man? What is your thoughts about this and about Bloober Team getting a hold of Silent Hill, man? You think it's a good look?
Okay, so first off, Bloober Team, let me put that at the end, all right? Because first we gotta think about Konami and the company that they are nowadays, right? Mainly their profit comes from pachinko machines, and using their properties in those pachinko machines, be it Metal Gear, Contra, whatever,
right?
And Yu-Gi-Oh, and this mobile market. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where they put their money at. So when, that's a part and parcel of why Kojima is no longer with them, right? Remember, he was also in charge of what was supposed to have been the next Silent Hills. PT, anyone? That was gonna be the next, so they lost all of that. Konami's already in a point where they don't do what they used to do, in being a traditional publisher of games. They don't do that anymore. They're making their money other ways. So they have these properties, that are still popular in the games industry. They don't want to spend the money, but others are interested. Now we have another topic dealing with Kojima. I don't know if you want to do that one next, K-Mega, because they'll dovetail real nicely into that one next.
If you want to be the host, you can do whatever you want. But how about you just stick to the topic, sucker?
No, I am. I'm just saying that maybe we want to afterwards, but listen close. I'm just saying that Kojima has a little bit to do with that story too. I don't want to bring his name up and then get too deep into that because we have another topic to discuss with him anyway. But suffice to say that Silent Hills game was also going to be something that he was working on. So now they have these properties and other people want to be able to license them or whatever. Well, Konami's like, hey, let's make someone else make the game for us because we don't have the shops in house anymore, right? We stopped, nurturing that side, so we don't have that anymore. We still want to make money off of this property. Everybody's asking for it. It's still hot in the streets. Like even to people who don't play games, who watch horror movies, they know Silent Hill. Still, it has a name presence low key that's almost as equal as Resident Evil amongst people in general, I feel. Right? So, okay, they want to make a new game. Who can they contract? I don't. Okay, bringing back Bloober Team into this finally. I don't get what the problem is. That's the first name that comes to mind right now. Bloober Team. And PlayStation fans are upset. And lately, when you say that phrase,
he wants to get started so bad. Can you tell he wants to go so left? But go ahead.
Don't even you think don't know at all.
Okay, because you okay. We'll pull back. Okay.
Like I said, normally you hear that and it's something sus, right? But then you said yourself when you was explaining PlayStation fans such as Cali Rex, friend to the show, he's been on here before, right? He's not one of these crazy people you hear about on Twitter. He prefers PlayStation, but this is a real gamer. He too isn't liking the idea of it being in Bloober Team's hands. And I really don't understand that. So now I really don't understand that. So now it has to be more than just whatever petty, childish reason it usually is. This time it must be an actual reason, and I don't understand it at all.
Well, Sick, just to address that, I mean, what people are saying why they don't want Bloober Team to do it is because, just look at the medium. It's 900p. You know what I'm saying? Not look at the quality of the game, and it wasn't that great. It's in Game Pass, and it still didn't do that well. Oh, they can't make a good product, not realizing what they did to make that vision come to life, or not even having played the game. So,
well, thanks for clarifying. But then that begs the question too. But see, like I said, PlayStation fans like Cali Rex, who's no fool, wouldn't think that way. Yet and still, he's not cool with Bloober Team on working on this next game either. Yet and still, that doesn't explain that.
Yeah, so, for Kelly Rex in the chat, he's over here explaining that he wants to see Supermassive make the game. But see, the game would be...
They don't have a talent to make a horror game. They just made a horror game.
Right.
A really good one.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's all... Okay. Supermassive makes a different type of game than what Kojima would have made or what Bloober Team is going to make. If Supermassive got a hold of it, it's going to be more movie-esque, which, listen, that would be cool if that's what people want. Yeah. I mean, but I don't think that's what the people that are clamoring for an old school style, or I should say old school style, or something that was familiar with Silent Hill to come back to be completely altered like what Supermassive would do. That's my thought of it. But I mean, listen, I just think personally that they haven't really had the opportunity to have a big budget. And since they'll have a bigger budget, and every time that they've made their games, they've stepped up. I mean, you could talk about Blair Witch, but I mean, again, Blair Witch, we can go back to every other studio that has been going to try to make something different. Let's talk about the makers of Horizon Zero Dawn, right? Okay, they've done Killzone, they did Resistance, they did all these games, and those games have potential. And then all of a sudden, everybody was talking about Killzone is falling off. Killzone is awful. And then all of a sudden, they decided to do something different out of their wheelhouse. And then that's when you've seen the hit. And now people are clamoring and can't wait for Forbidden West. So I think if they get this opportunity to work on a big budget game, I think that they'll deliver. I just think that's just me personally. Yeah. I mean, everybody is going to be entitled to their opinion, of course, but I don't know. But Slayer, were you done, or did you have some more to say?
That was pretty much all I had to say. Except I do want to quote Last Emperor there. I do agree with him. He says that Blair Witch was Some people liked it. That's what I heard. Okay, Medium was good. I agree, and the next game should be great. Like, Bloober Team has done a couple of titles, like 8 or so, across their history. They're the seasoned development team who deserves a chance at a big game. They just came off the Medium. I think they should at least be given the chance. We'll just have to wait and see how it looks before we could even start to say, hey, it looks like it's going to be good or bad or whatever. But give them a chance. I don't understand why otherwise sensible gamers have an issue with them per se, like specifically them. That makes no sense.
It's like one of those things, like one of their own game, Layers of Fear, when you type in the scariest games on console, is in the top 5 games of the scariest games.
That's
and everything is kind of like, in the eye of the beholder, whatever the case.
Right.
But when you look at everybody else who's up here making games, The Evil Within 2 by Tango, you got Resident Evil, that's of course Capcom. Again, Resident Evil Village, that's in Capcom. Yep. That's not even that scary. Supposedly as scary as 7. You got Amnesia up here. It's like, bro, it's one of them things or Outlast. Look at who you have making these games. And people are condemning, no pun intended, Bloober Team, and they've been doing nothing but making strides the more of an investment that they've had. Again, they didn't
with them.
You know what this reminds me of is when Marvel picks an actor or actress, or DC picks an actress for like a role for a superhero, and then the first initial thought is like, oh my God, why did they pick him? Why did they pick her? Right. Oh my God, that just doesn't make sense. Why didn't they pick this person for that role? Why didn't they pick this? No, this person looked way better. Oh my God. And then they watch the movie and then all of a sudden, oh, everything worked. I mean,
yeah.
So listen, there was obviously, I'm pretty sure that there was other studios that came to Konami and pitched for them to do Silent Hill. And I don't think it was just a one thing where, hey, look, let's just spin the wheel and then just go ahead and just pick. Oh, okay, it's Bloober Team. I think that whoever at Bloober Team and at Konami, they looked at their work and then they said, look, this for what we vision, for what we want you to see, what we would like to see coming from you guys. I think that you have the sterner stuff to do it. And that's how I take it. So obviously, if Konami chose them, then there is a reason why. Listen, I don't play scary games like I used to, but again, I used to play the hell out of them back from the 360 on back to when I was a kid. So I have some kind of familiar feel to it. And listen, let's just make this point too. If Silent Hill is this big juggernaut, then Silent Hill would still be around today.
Thanks.
That's another thing too that I think a lot of people don't address. Yeah, people, because they fell out of love with Silent Hill, is the reason why Silent Hill has had this long hiatus the way that this whole time. You know, because they tried to bring it back with Homecoming, I believe that was the name of the title, and it flopped. And then that was it. So it's the perfect time to bring back a remake and let somebody give their creative freedom or, put their creative juices behind it and give a different type of feel to it. Listen, Supermassive would be fantastic for it. But again, would people want that type of vibe coming from what we've seen from what the work that they do? You know what I'm saying? Because I like the work that they do. I think the games that they got coming out, because I want to try to eventually get the game that's going to be coming out here pretty soon. I mean, and of course, graphically, it always looks good and things like that. But those are more like interactive, make decision titles. That's kind of like when people Xbox always make fun of Detroit and stuff like that. That's what kind of games that they make. It's not like where you have the controls and you're running from Pyramid Head and things like that. When right. And then you get that fear because you're walking into this situation. Again, it's more orchestrated for like a scary movie more than it is a scary game experience. So listen, it is what it is, but I think Konami, they chose them for a reason, and I hope that they knock it out of the park for Silent Hill fans. I really do. Anybody else have anything else you want to say before we move on?
I'm good.
All right, cool. What up, Dirk Griggity? He said, what up, GRG? The Medium was a solid game. With a bigger budget, I think Bloober Team could do a decent Silent Hill game. No, that's exactly what I was saying. I think that, listen, Silent Hill is not a title that's just going to blow up and sell 20 million copies. I think that if it sells 2 to 3 million, to 2 to 5 million, that is a huge success compared to what the last Silent Hill did. Because that game was a flop, and that's what put the game into the freezer, pretty much into cryo sleep. So, I don't think, and even though I thought 2 was really good, but I thought 3 was amazing. Like 3 was just wild. But again, it's not. Everybody likes the games that they like, and people want things that they want. But these companies, they got an idea of what of their vision and what they want to do with their games. So. All right, so speaking of that, since my boy Slayer wanted to be the host, I mean, I wish he could have told me that. I would have took the day off. Let's talk about Kojima. Let's talk about Kojima. Now, looks like Kojima is getting into the news again, causing some stirs. Matter of fact, even causing some petitions after this news that's coming out. That's pretty out. It's starting. That's saying that Kojima and Xbox is working together on a cloud-based, potentially horror game that might be exclusive to the Xbox. And that has got quite a few people upset. Like I said, there's people out here making petitions, saying that they don't want this to happen. This is already pretty much coming from reliable sources, that the ink is dry, that they haven't started working on the game yet, but this has kind of been solidified that there's a letter of intent to where Kojima is going to start working with Xbox for this. So let's go straight. Oh, I see the man, the myth, the legend is here. PK. We always got to give him a second because he's got to, give him a second.
Now he's muted.
Oh, okay. He's always muted. And then all of a sudden he comes back in the medium and he says, oh, hey, I was away from the mic. Okay, I guess he is actually muted this time. He's out of there. Okay, all right, Titans. All right, so let's get to it. Let's go to you, Slayer. Oh, man, I know this feels good to you guys. I can just keep going back to y'all so quickly.
I'm sorry, guys.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you? It never fails.
Yes, he really did.
I told you it never fails.
You
so
got that one.
Yeah, I told you it never fails. All right, so I'll go to PK last. Let him figure his mic situation out. Slayer, what do you think about this whole deal about Konami and Xbox? How big is this, for one?
Well, yeah, Kojima.
Yeah. Did I say Konami? I'm sorry. See, you got me mixed up because of the fact of you got me moved. Okay. Kojima, my bad. How big is this with Kojima and Xbox working together? And what kind of game do you think this possibly could be? They saying that it could be a horde game. Some people are trying to knock it and say, well, since it's going to be a cloud-based game, this could be just only a mobile game. I don't know. What do you think about all this news?
Well, first off, it's got to be some kind of Hideo Kojima production. See, that's like, for example, there was that Castlevania game that was made by some other developer, Molecule, something like that, right? And they made that Castlevania game, Lords of Shadow, right? And the other one, but it was under Kojima Productions, right? So they produced the game, but they didn't actually make the game, right? What is that in the background?
Mute your mic, PK.
PK, mute your mic, man. Hear your kids in the back.
Oh my God.
Really?
So yeah, girl. Anyway.
Oh man, come on, hold on. Let me fix this. I'll see if I can fix this. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. So Kojima Productions. See, Hideo Kojima's team doesn't have to be producing the game per se, and that's even if they make the game. Because remember, this was more about a letter of intent that they intend to work together to meet this end. That doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. Remember, there was rumors with Google Stadia and Hideo Kojima and his people, and that didn't work out either. So this is just a letter of intent. This may not work out here either. Whatever this is. Now, as for what it could be, first off, don't even think it's some kind of Konami property, because first and foremost, even if he had left on a positive note, which we know he didn't, why would Konami not already be mentioned in all of this already? Like, their name would have been all over the letter of intent that leaked out, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not a Konami property or anything that he's ever made with them. And his entire career up until Death Stranding, I think that's the only game he's ever made outside of Konami ever. So it has to be something new. Now it's a cloud-based title. A cloud-based title makes you think that it's got to be something online, because why else make it cloud-based? It has to be an online type of game, a game as a service type game. So like, like how Destiny, I'm not saying it's a game like Destiny, but notice how Destiny can't be played offline, right? So that's also why I would laugh at people who bought disc for that game. You should have just bought that digitally. The function of the cloud, buy a disc, right? But anyway, so you have to start thinking about it in that realm. It has to be some kind of online type of game. And what history does Kojima have with online? Well, I can tell you, not a very good one. the Metal Gear games that have had online functionality, the functionality. This is the era of PS2, PS3, PlayStation era bad online experience. So this is also that also ties into what I said about he may just be producing, but it may be another development team, especially if they're going to be dealing with the xCloud and stuff. Like they're going to have people there who far more experienced than Kojima and his people could have ever been, even if they were really good at online ever before, which they clearly weren't, right? Well, they have the best people there at Microsoft to deal with that. So it's got to be something new, something with his brand on it, I feel. But doesn't mean he's actually going to produce it in and of himself. And that could be any other type of game. I think it would have to be something new and original. It's not going to be your typical, military game or typical horror game or typical anything. It's going to be something new and different. Hopefully not Death Stranding levels of weird and different. Something more down to earth or out of this world intent. But to say that I have even an idea of what it could be, no, it could be anything. And doesn't mean this could even work out. Like I said, letter of intent. Who knows?
Okay, cool. Now I do want to go. I want to jump back to the last topic because there was something that I forgot, and I want to bring this up to you guys, and it could just be just random. Y'all, anybody could talk about it. And that is now, since we know that Konami is actually outsourcing their games, who else do you think is in play for their other titles? Like what other?
Sony, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, what other game? Go ahead, PK.
I was going to say, Konami's been outsourcing their games for years.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's nothing new.
Well, I get it, but I mean, now they're going to bigger titles that people are more familiar with because I mean they've kept Silent Hill on ice for a while, and now
it's a buying cycle now in the game.
Yeah, now it seems like it's now that they're trying to push out their IPs, and it goes back to one thing that we were talking about last year actually, where they patented kept the rights to Bloody Roar, and I wonder if that rumor is true as well, where like maybe Sony or somebody else, maybe Nintendo, somebody else might get that IP. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, when you look at Castlevania, you see Metal Gear. I mean, there's so many possibilities, and so both topics is really kind of maybe blended together because if you really think about it, if Xbox, nobody knows what this game is that Kojima and Xbox are going to be making. Maybe that's the rumors with that as well, with the with Kojima working with Xbox could actually have something to do with maybe Konami involved. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
Konami, Konami's in an odd position. See, they have these IPs and stuff, but they don't need to leverage them to make the money they make, right? So it's a thing of they don't want to attach their IP to anything that's, number one, not going to profit, but just as important and equal number one, like 1A, is to not hurt that brand. Like you have the Castlevania anime on Netflix. That did both very well. It upheld the brand and in fact, added to the lore or, put animation and backstory to the lore of the franchise. And it was a very successful anime, with 3 seasons on Netflix, and that's a feather in Netflix's cap. Maybe they'll do more content on their IPs in the future, that worked out very well, right? But that engine that they use to make Metal Gear and their recent soccer games, right? That's a thing where they look at it and they probably regret the money they spent, even though they made that money back off of Metal Gear, right? And however many soccer games used that engine before they moved on, if they did, right? But was it worth it in the end? After everything that happened, when Konami looks back, they're probably thinking, no, it wasn't worth all that drama with Kojima and Metal Gear and the $500 million plus that they spent on that engine.
I heard that
No?
they patched a lot of things up here. In an article, not it came out I thought this year where they were talking about
Time heals all
yeah,
wounds.
time heals all wounds, and there's still people that like Kojima said in that article that they're still friends with a lot of people out there at
Right.
Konami. So I think maybe if there's the problem is because of the management and because of the money situation, because Kojima was asking for so much money and then you know the last Metal Gear didn't do as well as it was supposed to, and of course
made back the money that they invested in it. So it's not like they lost. In the end, you know, they made a positive, but and all the drama behind, you know, the whole situation, was it really worth it in the end, even if they made a profit? You know, that's the contrast situation I'm given, that it wasn't worth all the crap that became of that whole situation. You know, that was a real big mess. Time heals all wounds, and it's only now that situation is recovering itself, you know. So for Konami to outsource, you know, like PK said, they've been outsourcing their the IP because they don't. That's not how they make their money. If they make money with those IPs, is because they, you know, lend those IPs out to certain projects, but they have to pick and choose very carefully.
Let me tell you guys something. Konami's most profitable IP is none of the things you guys mentioned.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
And they make very little investment in the gaming, but make massive profit. And that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! On Xbox, PlayStation, PC, the games, very little investment, but they outsource to a company that don't really like much. But hey, very little investment card game, but they made lots of cash. Their mobile game, their mobile Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes lots of money with little investment. Their actual real TCG and OCG card game, lots of money. I mean, yeah, the pandemic hit them kind of, but they found a way to adapt, right? Now they do virtual duels now. They found a way to adapt. Point is, their big money maker isn't Castlevania, isn't Silent Hill, isn't none of those. That's why they were never priority. The only thing they keep coming and keep pushing is the one that always brings in the money, and that's Yu-Gi-Oh! So at the end of the day, yes, I think they're going to hold on to their IPs because they have a Pachinko machine market as well. It might not be here in the US, but they definitely do have it. And all those pinballs and all those, they put those characters on those same IPs in arcades. And not to say that they won't make a Bloody Roar, they won't, you know, outsource, because at the same time, it's got to be worth the investment. The way Konami has the reason why Konami, out of all the Japanese developers, outside of our Japanese companies, outside of Capcom, because you know Capcom's a mess in finance, but you realize that Konami has not merged with anybody. Sega's did it, Namco done it, Square done it, Tecmo's done it. Like everybody's done it, but Konami hasn't done it. And the reason why is because the issue with the whole Kojima thing is because they invested so much money and got very little return. Now, I mean, let's just be honest, that's what it was. At the end of the day, they're not trying to do that anymore. That's why they focused on the mobile market, because it is very little investment with a huge profit margin. It makes sense business wise. So if they were to outsource, it's going to be a careful investment, right? It's got to be something that makes sense for them to get a return, because they don't want to go back down the same road with the whole Metal Gear nightmare that they went through.
Right.
So, yes, they're going to definitely continue to outsource because it makes sense. They don't need to have a whole bunch of people under the belt when they can just get, like my friend Kibo, he, you know, I went to school with him. He actually works in Japan as one of those studios that they were hired for a side job. You know, part of his work, he did Metroid Another M. He did Smash Brothers animation. He does animation in some of the Sony games. You've seen.
Hello?
Did he go away?
PK
Got sent to Hades. Hold on, where is he at? Okay. I thought he got sent to Hades.
Same time, it's like in Japan they don't pay like
PK out of there.
It's not even 25%. of what they would get paid in the Western market to do the same type of work, right? So it's, and I think we was talking about this, how the Series X is doing well in Japan, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
So the Series S, I would say, is doing well in Japan. And we talked about why. And it's more like, well, the console is small. Like you guys guys, it's like their culture, everything they do is small. They don't even buy 65-inch TVs. They don't buy big nothing, right? A motorcycle or a small car, they don't buy big giant trucks like we do. V8s is unheard of in Japan, right? It's not that type of culture. So when it comes to everything is small to them, and the investment has to make sense for them. So definitely, I think Konami may and will continue to outsource where it makes sense for them to make a profit.
Yeah, because really you got to look at it. They're just, these companies are going to be giving them money to for them to outsource their IPs. So that, and because especially their bigger ones. And listen, it's long overdue for a Bloody Roar. It's long overdue for a Castlevania. It's long overdue for another Metal Gear. So I mean, Contra is probably maybe in the bushes because of the fact of what happened with Contra Rogue. I forgot what it's actually. I bought it. I seen it for like
Corpse.
Corpse. I think it was like
Corpse
$7.
Actually, did well. It was the
like
one
$7.
after Horror Corpse that did horrible.
And it was the last one that came out and they bashed it. It was the top shooter, and it was like they had like a.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Horror Corpse was amazing. It even had an RPG element where if you level up, you
they
can
were
unlock.
Getting killed in the review, so I was just like, oh well, I'll get it when it comes to.
I bought it on PlayStation, and then I got it on Xbox, so it's a good game. But as far as the Kojima thing, I mean, it's the same game that he pitched to Stadia, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we already know it's a cloud game, and and it's going to be a horror game. He's using assets from the last game that got cut or shelved.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, it is a horror game.
And if you've seen that trailer or the last trailer it was, you know what it is, right? So we know what kind of game it's going to be. And it's not a games as a service, as you say. It's more like it's just going to be playable on the cloud.
Well, I didn't say. I'm saying for what people are saying. What
I was almost said that.
The people that coming out and saying because they like cloud based. Yeah. No, I got.
I was coming off of what Six said. So it's going to be playable on the cloud is the idea. It's going to be
right. That's more in line of what I was trying to say.
Right. I think the whole premise is to give everyone access to it.
Exactly.
That's why they approached Stadia at first with with whatever the pitch is, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm pretty sure that Microsoft is going to be careful on what kind of investment they're going to back this thing, right?
Oh yeah, because
Coach,
yeah.
Because he doesn't. No matter how much people may like this dude, he doesn't have a very good track record on how much his budget is versus his return, right? You can't have a GTA 6 budget and then have a Bugsnax return, okay? Just can't do that.
I heard Bugsnax did good though.
Did it? $70?
No, I'm just. I don't know. I mean, what's up?
What made you lie like that for?
Lie. I just said, hey, big shout out to my main man. We and him was chopping it up the other night. B Shadows, man. Thank you for stopping by, brother. It's been a long time, man.
In the chat?
Yeah, he's in the chat. B Shadows is in the chat, man. Thank you so much, man. I see our boy. I'm hoping that is Clowns, but I don't know. I just see QTV. So, man, for QTV. So, man, thank you guys for coming. That's Clowns. Yeah, thank you, Clowns, for stopping by. Cali Rex, you know what I'm saying? Always welcome. Caspit Reaper, you know what I'm saying? Our girl Cooney. Master Clowns, man, thank you so much. And then, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else, Sleepy Goblin. Yeah, Kuna Stina. And then, and then the people that I was over here watching CMAC and all the rest of you guys out here, what did I say again? Paula Baba. Yes, thank you. Just watching over here on Twitch as well. So thank you guys, man. I really do appreciate it. All right, and then I see Lawrence. Okay, I see you guys in here. Y'all want to hear about this slander going on with with Kojima and Xbox. But okay, so Rain,
I wanted to make sure that B Shadows heard me. That go ahead.
He didn't say hello to you. He probably Abacab. I see him in here. What's up? He didn't say hello to you. He says you ain't worth it. Anyway, so all right.
Wow.
Anyway,
real, bro.
All right, man. Rain, we haven't heard from you in a minute. What do you think about this whole situation with Xbox and Kojima?
I just feel like it's more so. It's one of those things. It's more for namesakes, right? Just to get more attention on Microsoft's side. Again, as many people may not like what Kojima does, you might not like the vision he tries to bring out, and as much as he may say that we're stupid and don't get whatever he's trying to bring to life, he still has pull. Yes. He still gets attention, and people will play his game or at least try it, just so they can downplay it and say that it's trash or whatever the case might be. So, it's one of those things where I feel like that's more so the important side of it all. Again, we can only imagine what can actually happen with Microsoft being more hands off with devs, as we know. If he's bringing this whole entire studio over, it just depends on what kind of space that he's even in. Does he feel like he need to prove something that there's the Death Stranding?
Then that's a dangerous Kojima if he feels he have to prove something. Yeah,
exactly. You give a Kojima who feels like he got to prove something and more of a budget to play with and time. I think he could potentially put out something, that could change the industry. But who knows? I don't not necessarily say that he will be that guy, but he has the potential to do these types of things. As far as like what interests me about him trying to reach into the cloud, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's going to be for like some mobile game or this, that, and other." Again, it's kind of like you look at the game, you look at like Sea of Thieves, or you look at Microsoft Flight Simulator that are using assets from the cloud or whatever. They'd be able to stream in assets or whatever, more so I should say, to take some of the tax off of the actual hardware. If he's able to tap into that side of it and bring that to life, there's no telling of what he could actually do with it. I feel like that's more of an aspect to look at more than anything else, whether it's the name or whatever the case might be. It's just a potential what can be done with the cloud overall. And it's bigger than just it being some kind of phone game or a cloud only game. I think it's a lot deeper than that. I think it's just figuring out different ways to use assets and to bring a more expansive, maybe not only the world, but a more expansive experience to the end user overall. And if anybody's going to do it, I feel like Kojima definitely has the potential to do it, along with just bringing the smoke. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Again, get the attention.
Get the attention. All right, before we get to D, get her thoughts about it. PK, our boy Shadows did hit you back up, and he says, PK always kicking the knowledge with that Walmart mic and not a mute button. What's up, brother? No. So listen.
I realized what the problem was. I fixed it. I had my Yeti on and I had my other mic plugged in at the same time.
So again, one of my very first gaming podcasts, one was from Anchorman V. Shout out to Anchorman. And then the other one was B Shadows. So, and then afterwards it became, I got on me and Xbox 448. We started doing the next podcast. That tells you how long ago this has been. We talked about 6-7 years. And so, yeah, I mean, where do you think I got this slander from? You know what I'm saying? So when PK first came on the scene, man, he was quiet. He was chill, like, hey man, how you doing? I was one of the members of the Levert, I was the fourth Levert, but they kicked me off,
My God.
And so, you know what I'm saying? So we were kind of, so he's like, man, you like talking about video games? Yeah, I like talking about video games, I'm just a little chill, So now look at PK now. Look how much has he evolved.
Played in his back pocket. You better watch out, man.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, shout out to B Shadows, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen up. PK, how accurate is that? I think I nailed it.
Man.
So right, he can throw all the slander he wants. I made sure that I made space on my hard drive so I can install Soul Calibur just in case he wants to act like he want to run from me.
I ain't gonna run from it. I got it on PC. I got it. We can. Hey man,
fired, man.
this Sunday we're supposed to be doing some so Yobi. Hopefully we got some time so we can go ahead and get some of that Smash Brothers in. So I'm ready. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So D, what do you think about this Xbox Kojima situation? Do you think this is significant? Do you think this is really big news, or do you think this is kind of a type of moment?
Kind of torn.
There you go.
Okay, because at first I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was saying odd sounds like digital. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
I had to think about it only because one part of me, it's just like, okay, cool. That's, I'll definitely check it out. It'll be interesting. Because, I mean, to be honest, having both systems, I've always had access to Kojima's work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not that I dislike it. Some things just pull you and some don't. And that's okay. It's not saying it's trash because I don't like it. It's just, that just never appealed to me. So I've always had access to his work. As you know, I haven't played Metal Gear, any of those things. So one side of me, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Making deals, wheeling and dealing. The other side of me is just in awe, as usual, at the behavior of people. And hearing the news that he might. That's the shit that be getting me. Is the language of these articles is like, okay, they might have something. There could be something, and it just lights this whole fire. Like, I literally got a text this morning at 8:00. Like, girl, why is there a petition?
Man.
Like, bro,
Man.
I'm in Works parking lot. What's happening? Like, petitions. And if you've ever seen the petition, the language in it is just so interesting. Like, where do y'all find the time and the energy? Like, give me some.
My inner grammar Nazi goes nuts looking at those things. I'm telling you.
It goes off. Like, I don't know if y'all read part of the petition. I'm gonna go ahead and read it for you. Just in case.
Go ahead, please.
It burns. It's gonna burn again.
I'm gonna just go ahead and get it to you. So part of the petition is it says
hold on, let me hold on before you do it. Okay, so could you give the name? Well, give the name of it so I can go ahead and just do the right soundbite for it.
Of course. I'm gonna give you the name of it.
Yeah.
The name of the petition is Cancel Kojima Xbox Exclusive Game. Let's start right here. My God, there's four nouns here. Like, what are we doing?
All right.
So it's Cancel Kojima Xbox Exclusive Game. That's the name of it.
Okay, what happened? What's going on?
Well, then the next thing, I thought you were on the soundbite. So I'm sorry.
Oh no! It's just a little quick one.
That's all right. So in the body of it, it says Kojima. Sorry, it's funny to me. I'm sorry. It says Kojima is betraying his loyal fans. He has been blinded by greed. We must help him come back to the winning side. And then in all.
Okay, go ahead.
Story. So then in all capital letters, it says, please share this petition everywhere. And then back to regular case, it says, not everyone has good enough internet to stream games. Not everyone has enough money to buy a new console or build a new PC. Betrayal. Please, Kojima, don't leave us. And not the and I don't listen. This is what my homie that sent it to me said. Because of course he was just like, "What the hell is this?" And he was just like, "Okay."
Wait a minute, G. Could you repeat that last part,
please?
Did you say? No. You really got to repeat that last part. Because I didn't see this, and this is new to me. But I know
I saw it, but I didn't read it.
I know I didn't just hear fifth world problems of us not having internet or not being able to buy consoles or graphic cards or PCs, but you worrying about playing a game that you don't have no platform to play. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh man.
Go ahead. Let me go ahead and bring the whole thing back.
Okay. Because you know what? How I look at
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I was kikiing so hard this morning. Okay,
all right,
I'm gonna read again.
All right.
Get your ear open. Kojima is betraying his loyal fans. He has been blinded by greed. We must help him come back to the winning side. Please share this petition everywhere. Not everyone has good enough internet to stream games. Not everyone has enough money to buy a new console or build a new PC. Please, Kojima, don't leave us.
Hey, man, if 108 was right here, I could tell you what he would say. That's our boy 108 right there, right now. So I'm speaking for my boy right now. That is him right here, because he would be going off.
I don't know what you played, but yo, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, man. There's more? Wait, there's more.
No.
Wait,
there's more? There's more?
No.
Oh.
No. That was just me. Like, what in the actual hell is this? Because my thing is this. What I just find funny, and y'all know my word, what I just find so duplicitous is that the whole time it's been, I got the link, I'm getting the link, y'all. The whole time it's been like, y'all need to step it up. Y'all need to compete, blah, blah, blah. And now, like, I remember in 2014, I don't know about anybody else, but 2014, people were pissed, like, yo, why is Insomniac making a game for Xbox? They're a PlayStation company. Granted, technically they are now, but back then Insomniac was free and clear. They did whatever. And I was just thinking to myself, what do y'all mean? Like, they can just make a game, like, whatever. But now here we are all these years later. Insomniac is part of them. But now Kojima's making a game, potentially, allegedly, whatever. And you know, there's automatically a petition. We ain't got a name. Y'all ain't got a gameplay trailer. Y'all don't have a release date. And it's just like, to mobilize that quickly on the idea of you not having access to something, it's just really interesting to me. But yeah, that was this petition was started a day ago.
Yeah,
it is.
Reads like a 12-year-old wrote it. I'm telling
okay,
you.
So we got somebody that was in the chat that said he said, man, I think the petition was probably started by an Xbox fan who was just trolling, because there's no way this sounds real. Listen, this isn't the only.
I'm giving y'all the link.
Oh yeah. Give the link. Give the link. I'm gonna see if I can post the link on both places. Yes. What's going on, DJ Birdo Das? Man, he says that sounds like something MBG would write. Oh my goodness. Listen, it's messy. It's messy. And this is not the first petition that they've made. They made it for Sea of Thieves. They made it for also the one that they actually got was the one for Sunset Overdrive, because Sony went ahead and acquired Insomniac, and Microsoft went ahead and released IP to Insomniac. But man, listen, I think, look, to get all up in arms, and listen, they started that petition about Tomb Raider. That's when I very first knew about the whole petition thing, that you could do that with video games. I didn't even know that was even a possibility. But with the whole Tomb Raider situation, the Rise of the Tomb Raider, that caused up so much outrage. I was like, whoa. But yeah, it's the winning side, huh? And
yo, you know something? Petition.org should go the same place as Metacritic. That same trash dump. Dig a hole real deep. Put them both in there together. Both of those sites don't need to exist.
Okay, about Metacritic really fast. I know that I'm not the biggest fan of Metacritic. I think the purpose of Metacritic is fine. But they have to restructure it in order to be fair. There shouldn't be 2,000 copies of one particular game on one end and 30 on the other. And there should, in all accounts, if anything, it should only be from the reviewers that can be held accountable by what's the publication that you come from, who are you with, and all that, and let people know why you gave that reason for that score. But for other people that just can just randomly go in and just give it a 0 or give it 100 because they're a PlayStation fan or an Xbox fan or a Nintendo fan, that's absolutely should be cut completely out. It should still be there for just fan services, but not to be included into the user score, in my opinion. I think anytime that you see a 100 and it's not a good definition of why they gave that game a 100, or they gave a game a reasoning for the game being a 0, then that should be just cast out already. You know, you and I both know, or everybody on this panel and people that's listening, you all know that everybody has a different opinion about certain games, but there is very few games that are absolutely deserve to get a 0, and there are very few games that deserve to get a 100. So if they would regulate themselves more, which they don't, then I would think that Metacritic wouldn't get the bashing that it does. But because it doesn't, I mean, but I'm not going to dog Metacritic out and just say that it's just the most ridiculous thing ever. I just think that the way that they have run their policies is just absolutely just ridiculous. But, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm looking at my boy Abacab. He's saying it was started by Brian Xbot Troll. I don't know who Brian Xbot Troll is, but I don't know. But regardless of wherever it came from, however it came from, regardless of having a petition, this is the problem, though. Let's just say
of them signed it. A lot of people.
That's what I was going to say. It may have been made by Xbox Troll, but how many PlayStation people signed it already? That tells you right there that it's, they're willing for that to happen.
Troll didn't make
it. Yeah. So
somebody else would have made it legit. We've seen many others before.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anybody else?
It's more than halfway at this point.
Wow,
it's almost at 60%.
How many?
They want 500. They want 500. Since I was reading it, it was at 270. It's at 296.
Okay, so he's just saying an Xbox Troll, but yeah, okay. So again, it's already at how many? How much, D?
It's at 296, so it's almost 60% of its goal. It was at 24 this morning.
Yeah, see that's ridiculous. So obviously there's people that's buying into the slander. I mean, we shouldn't have no time for that. That's just absolutely ridiculous. But all right, but anybody else have anything else to say before we move on to the next topic? All right, let's get into the juicy stuff. All right, so
say that just because they're doing a petition, it don't mean nothing. People put petitions up for all kinds of.
Well, no, I know, but for people to even for a troll to even take the time to do it, or if it's somebody that's sincere that don't want to do it or whatever, because listen here, there might have been a troll that made that. But if you look and read on social media, there's a lot of people that's still screaming that same sentiment. So it's not like there's not people that believe that Kojima is abandoning PlayStation or that he.
Well, first of all, he don't work for PlayStation. You never worked for PlayStation, so it doesn't totally matter on that thing. So at the same time, these people are delusional. So if he's sitting here complaining about not being able to play, don't have no internet. First of all, this is the problem. If you don't got internet, you're not getting the game anyway. Don't have can't buy a new console, can't build a PC, can't have a lot of can'ts, but want Kojima to invest money into making a game that only he has access to. You got to hear how delusional that sounds.
It sounds very delusional. Very, very, very. And JT Taylor, JT Gamer, my bad. You said, you got it over 8,000. Nice. Oh, I was going to say, you said 8,000. I thought it was higher than that, brother. But go ahead, man. Good job, man. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? That's great. You over here getting your achievement score up, man. I really do appreciate that. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about the juicy stuff. All right. So let's see. Got to do these timestamps because there's a couple of people say, I need timestamps. All right. So, all right. Let's get to it. The director's cut. Ghost of Shoshima, Tsushima, Toshima, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
Lord have mercy.
Let me be country. However I say that, the name of that game, people know exactly what I'm saying, what I'm talking about when I say it. But let's just go ahead and just cut it in half and just say Ghost Director's Cut. How about that? Will that work? All right.
There you go.
All right. Ghost Director's Cut is going to be coming out here this August 20th. I did make a video talking about this. So if you haven't checked out the video, please do, because I was also letting you guys know that my birthday is not that far away from there. It's like, August 25th. It's like, hey, just, you know what I'm saying? If you enjoy K-Mega's content, you just like, you know what? K-Mega likes,
message.
He like, yeah, a little eBay.
You can slap your neighbor and hit that like button.
Facts. Yeah, and hit the like button. Hit the like button. But the birthday, August 25th, August 20th, the Ghost Director's Cut, because you know what? It seems a little bit expensive for me at this point. Since I already bought the game on PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying? I bought the deluxe edition. It was $80. And and you know what? I mean, I was showing support, and I knew that it was going to be ported over to the PlayStation 5. Well, then, the Director's Cut, we're hearing that some good stuff is going on with it. There's going to be some expansions. I mean, we loved it. We got the free multiplayer last year, which I thought was awesome. I thought that was a really, really cool multiplayer vibe that they added to the game. But yeah,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is just about the facts of the matter of this game.
Somebody tell me, please.
Yeah, because I really don't know either.
Okay.
This is what I'm asking.
Okay.
If you have the PS4 version and you run it on PS5, is it updated to the PS5 updated version?
Let me tell you this, Sick.
All right.
You got to get the Director's Cut, Sick.
Right.
So you got the regular old Ghost of Tsushima. That's not good enough.
No.
You need the Director's Cut.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right.
If you're going to play it on PS5 and you want PS5, you need to get the Director's Cut.
Right.
That's even separate from the content. The Director's Cut comes
is
with
the
content. But to get just the PS5 version of the base game,
you need the Director's
with
Cut.
all its up. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Now, see, and listen, this was not intentional because I didn't know what the specifics about why people were upset. Now I instantly see why. That's why people are upset.
I want to break this down from how I'm looking at it, right? And y'all can correct me if I'm thinking about this kind of twisted or whatever the case might be, because I feel like this is the issue that people have with it, right? Because everybody's saying, "Oh, it's $9.99. It's just $9.99 to upgrade," right? Now, before I read this, as I'm going to read it, it's only $9.99 to upgrade if you already have the Director's Cut, from how I understand it. Now, I could be looking at it wrong.
PS4 Director's. Oh, yep, that's the
PS4 players. Which you have a PlayStation 4 version of Ghost of Tsushima right now. There is not a PlayStation 5 version. PS4 players will be able to pre-order and upgrade to the Director's Cut for $19.99.
Right.
PS4 players who own the Director's Cut.
Right.
So after you've already paid $19.99 to get the Director's Cut, PS4 players who already own the Director's Cut can upgrade to the PS5 version for $9.99.
Hold on.
So,
she said, "Hold on, wait a minute."
In total, let me break that down for you.
Hold on.
In total, what is this coming to be? Anyone with the original PS4 copy of Ghost of Tsushima, because there's not a PlayStation 5 version. There's not.
Right.
Looking to upgrade to the Director's Cut on PS5 will pay $29.99.
Wow.
For anyone buying Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut for the first time, it's going to be $70 on the PS5 and $60 on the PS4.
Wow. 75, not even 70, 75.
No, it's 70.
No, it's 70. No, it's 70. It's 70. It's 70.
70 on the PS5.
Wow. That's just like they did with Spider-Man. They did it with Spider-Man.
Yes,
oh my God.
Okay, so and you're on to something, but I want to read this from our boy Supernova Gaming. Now, me and Supernova, I think Supernova is a great guy. He's been on the show a couple of times. Diehard PlayStation fan. You know what I'm saying? We probably 90% of the time do not agree when it comes to gaming, but I think he's a good guy. Even he had to say something about this. Listen to what he had to say. It should be $10 for people who originally bought it on the PlayStation 5, period. I paid $60 on PlayStation 4. Why do I have to pay $30 So $90 total for up to upgrade.
Wow.
When someone must have just now buying the game on PS5 only pays $70. Like, fuck me for being an original adopter.
Mm.
And so,
I mean, it's no different than what I mean. First of all, let's just be honest. And I know it sounds like we're kind of beating up PlayStation, but it's not just PlayStation. There's a lot of them do it. What do you think happened when it came to Control?
Oh yeah, no.
What do you think happened? What do you think happened when it came to hell? Even Nintendo does it, right? Sony loves to repack and resell you the game over and over, and people buy it. That's why they keep doing it. They want to resell you Last of Us Part 1 for the 4th time. They don't care as long as you guys keep buying it. It's Nintendo does it too. Hell, how many times did you play Mario 64? Oh, let's just sell it to them again the next time.
Well, for me, only just twice, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, for others, you're right, though. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, they're going to keep repackaging and reselling because people keep buying. That's just what it is. Was I upset that Control, the one I own, I couldn't upgrade to the ultimate version? I mean, it was kind of salty. It was kind of messed up. I wasn't gonna buy it though. I felt like I had enough of Control. I don't need to upgrade. If I really want that true experience, hey, that's what I got the PC for. I don't really need to spend extra money just for you to have me play the same game over and give me what you should have gave me for free. And I mean, I just seen something. I think it was Xbox News, and they were promoting smart delivery, and I thought it was funny, but I think now that I think about it, they're taking a swipe, right? And they just say it just works, and they showed a little picture of how you have Xbox One version and a game in between, and then get the upgrade for free as you get the newer console, and that's the way it should work. Right? If you bought the game, why would you have to buy it again just to get the enhanced experience? Right? But at the same time, I understand why they're doing it, because people are going to do it. They're making money. At the end of the day, that's why they're doing it. Not because
that's a fact.
They're
well, no,
not
I mean,
interested.
but PK, we all know that. We all know the reason why it's done. The fact of it is, though, I think overall is then why is it acceptable to do it?
I think it's more so the wording of it, though,
right?
Because it would have been different if you would have said, "Look, we're bringing out a new expansion. It's going to be $30 for the expansion." People would have took that much better than you pitching it the way that you're pitching it now. That's the problem.
But wait a minute, Rain. If they said $30 for the expansion, you still got to pay another $10 toll to get it on PS5 from PS4.
That's the thing, but you would have to include it with the expansion. That $30 would have to be bundled in with it.
And if you bought the deluxe package like I did, you're paying up to $50 for, once I eventually get a PlayStation 5, to upgrade to the PlayStation 5. And then listen. I get it's a business tactic, and listen, if people this is what the question that I was asking on the video that I made yesterday, was that this is all fine and good because this is Ghosts. This is a very, very good, awesome, fantastic title. This is one of those games that people are going to just kind of look over. They're going to brush over. Like this is some BS, but we're going to brush this over. But if they keep doing this, and then you got to listen to I said this on Next Podcast last night, was that look at what Sony is doing now with the themes, director's cut. There's another game that's going to be coming out here. Kojima's game is going to be coming again with a director's cut, and they're going to do the same thing. I guarantee you, when that remaster comes, it's going to be the director's cut. That is right there. And so again, that's the thing. When I was saying is like, okay, so if Ghost is going to be fine, but let's just say that if they did this with Godfall, how many people would be fine with that then? Or they did it with PlayStation All-Stars. How many people would be fine with that then? See, it's one of those
under
things.
The radar.
And so that to me is where it's like you look at the competition, and even push square. The pro-centric PlayStation publication was like,
they were tired of bullshit.
They were like, look, man, no, this isn't right. When your competition is over here doing things like with Greedfall, for instance, people are still checking to see to try to transfer to get the free content for Greedfall, but they're getting on their PlayStation 5s indicator that the game you got to pay for the game on PlayStation 5 to get those enhancements, while people are constantly I just uploaded a Greedfall again because I uninstalled it because I was getting other games, and so I reinstalled it. Boom, just happened for free. Just had to put it in my SSD, and we're good for free. You can't sit here when I get the expansion. That's fine. If they said $10 for the expansion, $15 for the expansion, I'm not tripping. But when you start talking about, the triggers and then the 3D audio, well, hell, that's what I bought the console for. Why do I have to pay for that? That should come included. That's my last point because I want everybody to say something, but I just wanted to say this. That's like for me investing and spending the money in the Dolby Atmos. I spend that money and pay that $20, $25 for the lifetime, and then all of a sudden a new game comes and they want to have some new type of technology that they want you to experience, and then Dolby Atmos says, for this particular game, you got to pay another $6, $7.99 for it. What is most people going to say? That's garbage. I'm not going to do that. So again, with Ghost of Tsushima, it's going to get the flyby because it's a fantastic game. But with others, PlayStation is going to keep pushing this until PlayStation owners start actually holding them accountable for it. But again, it is what it is.
Yeah, like I said, man, they're not the only ones guilty of it. This is the old business model, right? Yeah. This is the old business model. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that, come on, man. You've seen freaking Final Fantasy X remade how many times? Now HD this, HD that, and it's the same game, right? The same game, the same Metal Gear HD collection. We're just gonna remaster it again. Or Last of Us remake, remaster, remade, or whatever the version of it is. But the point is, they're going to do it because people keep buying. It's the old mentality. They feel like this is a gem and people are going to keep buying it. So why not? Why not? And there's no reason to get upset about this because you guys are supporting that business model. You want things to change? Think like this. Either you're going to support Blockbuster or you're going to support Netflix. Which one? Because one of them's going to evolve and one of them's going to keep you with your pockets empty and keep hitting you with tolls every time you want to play a game. I'm just saying some companies need to evolve and change their business model in order to survive. It's adapting. I know a lot of people like to go back to the old ways when we had physical discs. Unfortunately,
that days is over.
We are in a different time where that is no longer the default medium, and it's only going to go crazy from there. So what I'm saying is, in order for people to get away from that old business model, you got to talk with your pockets, talk with your money. Don't buy it. Stop supporting that business model. As long as you do, they ain't gonna see no problem with it. And the thing is, I don't even see no problem with it because it's business. As long as you keep buying it, what? And I'm gonna say this. Probably nobody on this panel is a Pokemon fan, but Pokemon is the largest gaming franchise in the world, and it makes more money than anything. It prints money. They can make the worst games in history, and people will still buy it. They proved it with the last Switch game.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They're about to put out. They're about to re-put out Silver and what? Was it Silver and Ruby?
Or they doing Ruby Diamond and Pearl.
Diamond and Pearl.
But the thing is,
so they're gonna go after Prince after he passed away. If I give you diamonds and pearls.
Yeah. So
came out about
give you
what
a
I'm
boy
saying,
and a girl.
But it proves. It proves that their business model is working because no matter how bad it can be, people will still buy it. And that's why the Switch is still doing well, because they're accepting
Loyal
it.
host, loyal.
They will
Right,
go
yeah,
ahead
yeah.
and I mean, it's not that loyalty. I mean, they make great games. The point is they're not demanding better, and they're
Right,
just okay with it.
right.
Right? You know, Nintendo does make some of the best games in the world, high quality for sure. But
This man
again,
had to throw some Nintendo in here. It's all good. We agree. Nintendo do make high quality titles, even though they might not look like it, but they make great titles. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah, yeah,
today
yeah.
they still when it comes to their hardware and tech, they never sell their systems at a loss for a reason, because they know they can. They know they can do it because people are gonna buy.
Well,
And
here
as long as
recently, because they have before. We know
the
that.
the
But yeah.
Wii proved it. The Wii was some crazy situation. But at the same time, in order to get these companies to change these old tactics, these old business models, is to speak with your pockets. There's one thing I want to point out when I watched the Windows event, and that's when Satya hit the stage, who used to be the Microsoft CEO, now the chairman of Microsoft, and he took some pages out of Phil Spencer's book when Phil Spencer talked about how the player is the center. Instead of trying to sell you an Xbox, they're selling you an ecosystem, which is different. If you're not a console player, they're not trying to sell you an Xbox. They just want you in the Xbox ecosystem.
Right.
The
That's
same
yeah.
thing, the same this is the same thing that Satya said about Windows 11, and that's why the platform is more open. Now you can install Android apps on it, etc., because they're trying to bring a different business model that's adapting to today's environment. So you can't be mad at Sony for doing what they're doing, because it works. And it only stops working when you guys stop buying the games over and over.
Listen, I'm not mad at them. It is what it is, but it is worth talking
I'm
about
not
because
saying you
yeah,
particular.
no, I get it, but I'm just saying. I mean, the hustle is real. So I mean, it is what it is. But damn, it's like paying $50 for a game that I spent $80 on just so I can feel comfortable once I eventually get me a PlayStation 5. We're talking about an older game, and listen, when they do these recreations, they're called a collector's edition, and those only come out to be like 40, $50.
It wasn't even a year old yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a year old yet, man. It wasn't even a year old yet. Capcom did the same thing. Did you know I bought Marvel Capcom 3 in February that year that it came out? Less than 4 months later, they re-released the daggone game full price in E3 and said, "Come buy this again." They also the ones who were caught in Tekken Cross Street Fighter with the DLC characters locked on the disc, and then banning people who figured out how to unlock them without paying for them, paying that toll. It's nothing new under the sun. But I'm just saying, in order to stop that business model, you got to stop giving them the money. But if you're giving them the money, that's just saying you cool with it, and there's nothing to do with it.
Exactly,
So I mean, I just don't want to say Sony's the only one doing it, but they definitely are doing it. Why? They doing it because people are still going to pay for it. So if they're going to keep taxing you and taxing devs for trying to promote their games on they're going to keep doing it because.
Oh, I see so many excuses now. I've seen what PlayStation guys was just saying. Look, you got to look at the fine print of where Tataku was saying Microsoft does it too. Well, of course Microsoft does it. Everybody does it, but I don't think that they were doing it to that extent to where it was $25,000 up to $200,000. I think
that situation was even worse. That he was just talking about. It was not even the advertisement that he was peed about. It was everything else that's
all
Sony not do that really, and that just hit that was just the icing, right? So it wasn't just him, it was a lot of devs that came out and was talking about.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, again, listen, I get it because I've seen a lot of Xbox gamers, and even me included, with certain things when it comes to like defending something where you feel strongly about. But listen, when people were coming out and was saying Xbox wasn't producing these certain type of games, I couldn't be on no snow hill talking about Xbox was giving me the fighters that I wanted. Xbox was giving me the single player experiences that I wanted. I was just saying, look, I like the games that Xbox is providing me, but yeah, they need to do better. You don't even get that from the stands. The only thing you get is denial, quietness. Denial, quietness. That's it. Or then maybe an insult or two. That's it. You don't ever get like, and so for me seeing my boy, Supernova Gaming coming out and speaking out on this, then you know that it's the chink in the armor has been happening here lately. I'm just trying to figure out what is going to be the thing. Because we already know that there's going to be plenty of loyal PlayStation fans that's never going to question or abandon PlayStation, and we're not wanting that. But the thing of it is that I want to know what's going to be that big chink in the armor to where PlayStation fans is going to be like, all right, look, man, I see the competition is doing everything that they're supposed to do for my dollar. Just kind of like what PlayStation did last gen to bring those 360 gamers over to the PlayStation. Because obviously, right now,
it's never going to happen. And
no.
Listen,
listen.
I'm gonna tell you why.
The diehards don't move, but the casuals aren't loyal. Casual gamers are not loyal.
Right. The casuals will move one way or another and not even blink at it. So that's gonna happen. I already think. To be honest, at this rate, Xbox has already won the generation. However, this is also very much like the 360 at this point. And the PS3 was in a bad way this early on in the generation, you know? So, and look how that generation ended up. Like, it can happen, but at the rate they're going now, they're still not even making any moves. I feel that's going to even help them to get out of that rut. But let's say they started today. It's going to be a while before you see that impact. So, I don't see things changing for a while, but the
I already see things. I already see things changing.
More popular. Yeah, right.
I'm already seeing things changing. I'm listening to people that are playing. Yeah, I'm already seeing people that's already kind of like, look, man, I'm going to buy both. Yeah, there wasn't people talking about they were going to buy both. Yeah, they were just saying, look, I'm just sticking with Sony because Sony is doing everything that I want as a consumer. Now you're starting to see people to say, well, I'm just going to get both. And then you're starting to see a couple of more people saying, look, man, I mean, Game Pass is giving me more for my value. Oh, man. And then this stuff with, this stuff could transfer over if I got this game over here and the backwards compatibility. And it's starting to make the thing. I think for what everybody was waiting for that weren't on Xbox camp was for Xbox to show them the certain type of game or games that are going to be coming. And I think that they're now fulfilling that. And now, listen, for me, with Sony, for me being reserved for me getting a PlayStation 5 is not only for just the problems that were starting in the beginning of the gen, but the memory situation. And they still, hopefully when they have this event, that they will address it and say, hey, maybe, at the end of the year, we'll have something. But you don't hear nobody talking about it. Like, why are they not talking about the memory? Look, I bought one of those extended memories for the Xbox, and I can then imagine what I would be going through if I didn't have no extended memory. I don't even know what I would do.
Megan, let me tell you something. You know why they're not complaining? I give you one good answer. They're only playing Spider-Man. They don't need memory, dude.
Stop it. They got Returnal. They got Ratchet and Clank. Stop that.
Okay.
That'll be a mess.
3 games. That's good enough. They ain't running out of space, dog. They don't have that many games and stuff.
Come on, man. They got the mediums on there now. They got Kina coming. Come on, man.
I want to see them buy a medium because they was giving that a lot of smoke earlier.
Oh man.
At the same time, that's still not a lot. And they ain't got that many games to worry about memory, dog. That's why you ain't talking.
I got you, but I'm just saying. Listen, COD alone takes a big chunk.
And besides that, they have the PS4 version.
Okay. All right.
Don't PS4 still work with external memory?
Yeah, it should. Yeah, I know mine does. Mine does.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, mine does too. So that means they don't need to worry about the PS5 memory right now. They're still playing on PS4 and
come on, man. Now a lot of people traded their PS4s in for their PS5s. Come on, man.
Here's the thing.
PK, you so messy.
Saying but that's the thing about it. He's being messy, and everybody has a tone.
He's not lying though.
Exactly.
He's not lying though.
Exactly.
He's not lying though.
Word for word.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Somebody in the chat said, "How many games do you need installed?" Well, hell, if y'all keep talking about, if you guys keep talking about,
eat up all that.
Well, no. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get them for this one.
Valid question.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're telling me that I have to buy all these games, then how many games do you got installed? Because I got like 700 and some games. Right. So I mean,
we have to buy games.
So I got like I got like 700 and some games. Of course, not all of them are installed into my hard drive. My hard drives, but for all the games that I have stored into my hard drives, it's 200 and some games. I don't want to take the time, especially for the bigger games that I want to go back and I want to beat eventually. That's in my backlog. I don't want to take the time to re-download those games. Like for instance, let's say I'm almost on the verge. If it wasn't for my homeboy William, I would be right there getting rid of Call of Duty because it's taking 600 and some gigs of my memory, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it taking that much space. But yeah, I was gonna say Persona, not Persona, but New Genesis. New Genesis is like 80 gigs, right? I don't want to waste that time to wait to re-download Genesis again. This is the reason why I bought the external. And that's, what I'm saying, and if I want to, for what the next game that I beat, which will most likely be Scarlet Nexus, then I can put that back and then I can add in something else. So that's the whole reason for having the memory, and especially if you invest in games or you say that Xbox-centric guys or women don't buy these games, then obviously that doesn't sound right by asking the question of how many games do you need to be installed. I mean, shit, as many as you buy, right? So I mean, come on, bro. So obviously that's telling me that you ain't buying these games like that.
Let me tell you something. My son plays GTA and 2K, and it eats up his hard drive by itself. Just those two games,
right?
And you talking about other games?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just crazy.
Thing to note real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And like Kamiya was saying, one of the things that
that gameplay was tripping. I'm sorry.
To me, you good. One thing that kind of gave me pause was the memory, and the reason why is, and please correct me if I'm wrong. The one issue I'm having with my PS4 right now is that I have to upgrade, I have to update Grand Theft 5, Red Dead, and Ghosts of Tsushima. I have the space to do it, but I can't because I don't have double the space. So one game requires 50 gigs. I have, I think 95. I cannot update my game. So it's like, if I have 660 gigs, and I have, I guess, 3 games that are, 150 apiece. That's almost at max. And if I have to update a game and the update is so many gigs, even if I have the space on paper, I can't update it because the system requires that I have more than, what's allotted. So that's kind of a deterrent as far as getting the PS5. But going back to the point of this Ghost of Tsushima point, because I ain't get my turn yet.
Yes, ma'am.
When I first segue into that, when I first saw it,
I'm just being respectful.
You're right. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
It just gave me pause. First of all, it was early in the morning, so seeing all those numbers, it didn't make sense to me at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then hearing Still describe it, because I didn't know there was a director's cut for the PS4. I thought it was only PS5. So that kind of alleviates a little bit my confusion. And part of me is just like, if you don't have the game, okay. It just gave me pause that usually when there is, what are they calling it last gen? Definitive editions usually had everything, but you got it for like 40, maybe 50. So, or the game of the year edition. I just found it interesting that it's the same price, at $60. I get there's an expansion. I'm not saying the expansion is terrible, you shouldn't get it. I'm not saying any of that, but it's just really intricate. And like y'all were saying, if they just kind of branded it as expansion, maybe it would kind of be a little bit more well received. But like y'all were saying, times are definitely changing, and I don't know what the point is going to be as far as when people are just like, nah, this is where I draw the line. I thought the Last of Us remastered remake was going to be that point. Um, Allegedly, it's not. So I feel like they're going to keep going. And I mean, a lot of companies are doing it now. Even though I like Rockstar, I love them, but I hate to say it, they're one of those that kind of started. Skyrim is one of them. Grand Theft is being released for the third time, and that doesn't even have an expansion. You're just getting graphics, some little things here and there. I don't know what's coming out in it because I know when it went from PS3, Xbox to PS4 and Xbox One, they gave you like trinkets, collectibles, and you had a guarantee that the online was going to work. But, times be changing. That Rockstar is also the first ones to do a season pass, and look where that's gotten us 10 years later. So I hope this is not the trend, because y'all see what season passes have been like in the last 10 years. It started with LA Noire. That was the first one. And then every other game had it. So,
Hey D, I have a question for you because I noticed you mentioning a lot of games that all from a same publisher there. Take Two.
um,
There's a couple of other publishers I think I hold in the same regard in particular with this whole situation. Activision, Take Two, EA, same usual suspects to constantly do this. But Take Two, listen, they're amongst this company for a reason. They look at all the games you named that started these trends, these bad anti-consumer trends. Most all of them were Take Two games. In fact, I think all of them were. That's crazy. It just goes to show.
It's unfortunate. It's the same. It's the same thing I was saying last year, and when it was the games going up to $70, not Sony doing it. Sony hadn't come out about it yet.
Right.
It was Madden. It's the sports games, and they're like, we're about to make it $70, and I was just like, I'm really ambivalent about it being $70. It's been some years since the last hike. I'm not sold either way about whether $70 is good or bad. But if anybody's going to try to do $70,
it's going to be them
mofos shelling the shit to you every fucking year. That's the part that pissed me off. And I was just like, once you plant that seed, people are just going to start charging $70. Ubisoft
was it really surprising though, especially from them? You already knew it was going to happen.
But it happened. But then that was the other thing. I was just like, if y'all gonna do it, do it. Like 360 and PS3, $60. Cough it up. If you're in New York, after tax, $64.59. That's just what it is. Everybody across the board. It wasn't like so Duty gonna be $59.99. Assassin's Creed 2 gonna be $39.99. Like, listen, you want a new game? It's $59.99. It's this inconsistent. How much it's gonna be? It's just. I don't know. It's just I don't know, but it's not even been a year. Feels like it's been a long time because 2020 was a shit year and it was long as hell. But it hasn't even been a year. I don't even know if a year ago we knew what the systems looked like at this point. I'm not sure. Maybe we did in July. I don't know. So, Tsushima, it's kind of I'm keeping my eye on it. It was a good game. I'm not going to buy it again in any capacity, especially since Sony has embraced backwards compatibility all of a sudden over last generation. But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no point because if I do go to a PS5 in like 2023, whenever the hell, I can just play what I already have. Hopefully, because it's digital. That's the only thing is like it's digital, so hopefully it'll convert. But
well, hopefully they'll have the bugs fixed by then. So yeah, that's what I'm anticipating as well. Yeah.
Yes, bugs. Okay.
Well,
we'll use that.
We'll just use that terminology. Yeah, let's be nice. But
be nice.
I'm just saying, just be nice about it. I mean, listen, all I can see is this: it's the competition keeps doing what they're doing, and you got because the one thing about Game Pass was always about, well, where's that special content that's going to draw people over to getting invested in the Game Pass. Well, we're seeing it now, and it's only going to get better in time because the more and more we start seeing these other publishers, these second and third party publishers, or I should say third party publishers start putting out their games like Back for Blood and others. And then again, think about this. With having if the rumors about Ubisoft, and then of course there's EA already on Ultimate Game Pass, people might not have to, for the people who wants to wait for Battlefield, and let's say that they want to buy COD or play Halo or whatever that's going to be coming out at the end of the year, and they want to wait until probably around summer of next year or maybe this point in time of next year, Battlefield might be on EA Play. So, I mean, that's another incentive. So, I mean, like, I get where some people try to say, well, you got to show the love to the developers by, spending the money on the games. But listen, the developers wouldn't put their games on Game Pass if they weren't getting anything out of it. So you are doing the same. You are sending, giving your love out to the developers by playing their games and eventually buying those games if you like them in Game Pass. So it's just a different approach. I don't like the fact that people try to dog people for spending the money for the games. Because like I said, for anybody who's going to go out there and spend $70 or whatever for Ghost of Shoshima or Ghost's Director's Cut, that's your business. That's your money. But don't get mad at me because I might wait to buy Back for Blood a little bit later, knowing that I got Battlefield coming and I'm going to be spending the $100 version for that. So I could go ahead and, since I got Ultimate Game Pass, I have the luxury of getting Back for Blood to play it and then eventually buying it later, or at least buying the DLC. So I don't want to hear anybody trying to test my pockets about what I want to do, how I want to finance, the games or however I want to do it, because I'm still invested and paid my money into Ultimate Game Pass. So I don't care. I mean, people should stop that. But yeah, to me, this is really, 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 really crazy. So let's get to the last topic and let's move it on. Sony gets 2 studios from a lot of other people's understanding that it should be 3 because of what was leaked out, which was Blue Point. I apologize because me and Don, we did Devin and Gamer the other night, and we kept saying Blue Hole, but then until we eventually figured out, no, it's Blue Point. Blue Hole is done PUBG. Lord. So yeah. It was real late at night. I mean, it was like, 1 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, no, it was real late. No, I'm talking about it was real late at night we did the podcast because Don just hit me up. It's like, hey, man, we still want to do it before I get ready to move and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's do it. But
hey, did you do it live?
Yeah, well,
I always miss it.
This is how I agree with Don on this one, because of course it's been on my channel. And so Don is trying to grow his Twitch channel. And so he asked me if it was cool for him to do it on Twitch. So I said, yeah, no, we boys, ain't no big deal about that. So we do it live on his Twitch channel. Then he passes it to me, and then I upload it into YouTube. So a couple of days or so later. So that's how that's been going here lately. So we're trying to help him grow his Twitch channel. So go check out the Don KTR over there on Twitch. But anyway, so Blue Point isn't nowhere to be seen at the moment. They did come out with this with changing their bio, saying that they're an independent studio, and pretty much, kind of saying that they're not available for any purchase. But again, that can mean anything. But for right now, what Sony do have is House Marquee, and which is the developer of Returnal, and Nex Machina, which I really do like Nex Machina. That's a dope ass game. And then Resogun. And then, of course, they got another studio, which isn't a game making studio. It is a PC port specialist, which is Nexus, which is kind of interesting. So I'm going to go to you on this one first, PK. Give us your thoughts about this, man. What do you think?
I think it's a good thing for them to have someone to get their PC ports together, because Days Gone is on its 4th patch and it still has frame rate issues. It was crashing for the beginning of the launch.
On PC?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I played a little bit of it, but I haven't played a lot of it on PC.
They definitely need that, especially if they want to get that money on PC, because ain't nobody gonna continue to take their launch issues. I mean, it eventually got itself together, but that's eventually. Right? So congrats to Sony. It's a good pickup. They need to show that they're growing, show their customers that they're committing to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So in my mind, that's a good thing. It's always a good thing. Show growth. At the end of the day, these guys, or especially one of the studios, made a lot of games for PlayStation in the past anyway. So they have a relationship there. That is just a good segue.
It is.
So
no, I agree.
So it's no different than Bethesda and Microsoft. They work closely, so it's a good segue. So that's a good thing. And like kind of like the Konami thing, they're gonna invest where it makes sense to them.
It does.